video is going to be a bit tilted, but I can't be bothered right now. This is like my 4th time filming. I prepped with this collab Pep Talk. I put it here, and to blend it, you kind of pat it in. On the forehead, if you have lots of bumps like me, you kind of press until you don't really, till it soaks in a bit. You let that set for a few minutes. You always have to let the primer set for a few minutes. And then I went in with Wet n Wild Rose 3-in-1 Primer Water, which is really, really good. I did it till my face looked really wet, and I rubbed it in all over. And another good way to prep is like with sheet masks. You can find them at Fred's, Target, Walmart, kind of anywhere. Anyone that kind of has like a woman on the face wearing it. I usually leave it in for 15 minutes. So the ones you don't have to wash off, where you take it off and then just rub the excess in down your neck and all over your face till it soaks in. And my foundation, I already took the cap off. It's the Wet n Wild Stick Foundation. And it's pretty okay. I haven't found a foundation that's super, super good. Unless it's this one. But I ran out of this one. It's also by Wet n Wild. Cruelty free. It's pretty nice. It's a little cushion. I just found that they don't have a lot of shades, so I wasn't gonna hard recommend it to you guys because the shades are a bit funny. They might add more in the future because that's what they usually do. For my foundation brush, I use the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. It's a brand sold at Fred's. You can usually find good brushes and stuff at Fred Meyer's. Real Techniques is a really good brand to use. But with the stick foundation, I kind of rub it all in there like that. Because if I put it directly on my face, it moves around all that skincare product, I guess, that I put underneath it. And I start in the middle of my face. And I work it outward if I don't want it super, super full coverage. I always make sure and put some right here. Because right here for me is really, really light. So even if I don't really have anything on my face, it looks like I'm kind of wearing a foundation mask. And since the top of my eyelids are pretty discolored and veiny, I moved the excess over on that. But basically, it's all about finding brushes that work for you for blending. If it was like a liquid foundation, I would use a little beauty blender like this. Not the Beauty Blender brand, that's just what I call all of the beauty sponges. And you can also find some of those at Fred's. Real Techniques sells one.
Go outside.
Right here is kind of an awkward area for me. But you really just have to take your time blending. Which is why this video is probably going to be long. Half of it's going to be blending and talking. And blending. And blending. And blending. I usually don't go in with a lot of foundation just because I don't like the feeling of it. Just enough to hide the fact that my sleep schedule's messed up. And to kind of get rid of some redness. Reason why I like Wet n Wild NYX is that they're cruelty-free, which means that they're not tested on animals at all. And a lot of the products are pretty good. I think that's all I'm gonna mess with foundation-wise for right now. Then I'm gonna set my face. With the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. I really like it. It's kind of expensive. There's this one by CoverGirl, which I think is pretty good. Not as expensive. e.l.f. has a setting powder that is good, but it's like super finely milled. So you should be prepared to inhale some. And I pack it right in my under eyes and above eyes. That was too much, because it diffuses my pores, and even though it's translucent, it kinda keeps the colors. I also use it to contour a bit with my nose. The reason I put so much on in these areas is because I can get oily. Oh, I've gotten powder everywhere. And then what I do is, after I've laid it all out, I kind of spread the rest around my face with the bigger powder brush. And I use that to set the rest of the face. It's always good to kind of get a closer view. And then blush, one of my favorite things. Doesn't super matter which blush brush you use, as long as it's fluffy and somewhat dense, but you mainly want it more fluffy. Right now I'm going to use the NYX Ombre brush. You can find pretty much all NYX products in Wet n Wild at Fred's. They have their own online stores too, I think. But what I do is I take a crap ton on here and then get rid of excess like that. And I kind of stamp it. If it looks like too much, I go to the other cheek. Then you fluff it out. Looks like a lot right now, because it is. I put way too much on. I like putting it right under my nose. It's really preference where you want to put your blush. If you find that you put too much on, you can always take your powder brush and run it over with it. You can always take a bit extra of that translucent powder, just a little bit. It will kind of diffuse it all. But I'm not too worried about making it look super perfect, because this is just for you guys and I don't think the camera picks it up super well. With highlighter, I also use the Wet n Wild highlighter. They're known for making amazing highlighters. And fan brush. It's okay if you don't have a fan brush. You can use one that's around this size. Smaller than the powder brush, but too big to be an eyeshadow brush. This one might be a contour brush actually. I tried using it for blush, but it's not super good. But I kind of pack it in like that because I like a lot of highlighter. Can put it on the high points and then a bit over the eyelids, which I really like doing. It also gets under the brow bone. I find it a lot easier with highlighter to put it on with a fan brush like this, because you can put it on your cheekbones and like bring it along the contours of it. Cupid's bow, bit on the chin too, and then I like some on the tip of my nose. Then to blend it out so it doesn't look just like a harsh line, I usually just kind of run it like that to get the excess off and use the very tip of the brush to kind of diffuse the edges of it so it doesn't look like a streak of highlighter. And then brows, if I can find them. This video is running a bit long. I use the NYX eyebrow powder pencil. It's pretty good. First, I go over to get rid of excess powder and product to kind of brush them out and shape them. Then I lost my breath. You usually want to find something with the mirror. What I do is I draw a line like that. I fill in some over here, but not too much. And then I take a flat brush, usually an eyeliner brush. If I can find it, kind of like this. It's not focusing. I'm filming on my phone, so the quality might not be amazing. And I blend it straight upwards. Then I bring it a bit forwards towards the middle of my face because I don't like how far apart my eyebrows are. To try to make everything look smooth and nice. And before you're completely done, you sit back from the mirror a bit and look at it. Then I take the spoolie end most of the time this picks up excess product nicely. Like that. If you have to press hard with the eyebrow pencil, if you have to press hard to get it to work, then it's not a good eyebrow pencil. This one's nice and soft. I barely have to press to get stuff to get on it. I lost my thing. Where did I put it? Ah! This video's already pretty long. Shit. I just put it down. Oh my god. Found it. I'll pick that up later. Usually if your eyebrow pencil is creamy and nice, you can take your finger if you make a mistake and kind of wipe it away. They don't have to be super even. Would like them to be though. I think my brows take the longest, I'm not sure. Because my face, sometimes I don't even wear foundation. I put translucent powder in my T-zone, blend it everywhere, and then put on my blush and highlighter, and then I'm done with the face. This is my problem brow, I think. I'm not trying to make them look super perfect, because I don't have anywhere to be today, I don't think. Then, to set the brows, I'm going to use the Milk Cush Fiber Brow Gel. And I normally like the NYX brow one, but I can't find that. This one, there's just a lot of product on it, so it makes them look super dark. But it's good for tinting the actual brow hairs. With this, I'd recommend using a super light hand if you have this one. Because if you press too hard, it will show. I think I'm gonna stop this video here, because that's most of my face done. After the brow gel, sometimes I go in with this, the spoolie, just to blend it all out if there's any brow gel chunks. I'm gonna do my eyes, I think, in the next one. So, like, right after this.